Man, the draft process was a roller coaster just because of COVID and training for those like 3 months or 4 months at the end of our uni season. Got beat out semis playoffs. That was kind of a bittersweet way to end, but we made it. That's the first we ever made it there, so proud of that. But the training and then COVID, I was actually at the regional combine in Toronto, watching like my boys participate, and then NHL, NBA, NFL all just cancel. My agent was right there. He's like, yeah, we're done. Like, it's canceled. So that was kind of just unfortunate for me, but it was just another hurdle I'm gonna have to jump over anyway to get to pro. But the draft process, when I was talking to all the teams, getting calls, like, it was something that I didn't really experience in the recruiting process going into university because I had broken my kneecap my grade 11 year, and teams just kind of started like not talking to me anymore, and Waterloo and McMaster were my only 2 offers. So I never like had that like big recruiting, all that kind of stuff. And with the CFL, I was talking to every team. So it was cool, like getting a feel for like each culture of each team, and like coming to and when Hamilton interviewed me, that was my only in-person interview with Drew. So it was like camera in my face, 2 hours, had to remember all these questions, all these words at the end and like repeat them and stuff. So going through that stuff, like I wouldn't say stressful, more just like a blessing to be able to even have that opportunity. But yeah, man, getting drafted by the Cats, like that was surreal. It didn't even matter that it was COVID to me at that point, just because like it's where I wanted to go. It's like, you know, hometown. It was just kind of the dream growing up. Family's here, girlfriend's close. Everything I got is here. So to be drafted back home is like the best thing that could happen for me. Me and my agent were just talking about like fits in the teams for like when I was like considering Hamilton being like the probability of taking me. And after the second round, when the second round happened, I was like, oh damn, I could go anywhere. But like I always had that gut feeling that Hamilton was it, just because of my agent talking to me about like the Canadian position, the Canadian receiver position, how I was going to be a good fit on special teams at withholding, because Tasker was gone and kind of guys retired in that like off season of the like COVID year. So it just opened up for me even more, and it was definitely the best spot for me to come in and compete for a job.
Hey Tiger Town, super excited to be a part of the organization and can't wait to get rolling.
There's that grind of the off season that is like, it's good, but it gets to a point where it's like, I just want to play football.
Yep.
But then you don't have that. It's however many months, even longer, so it drives out. How did you stay motivated throughout that entire long off season?
No, not gonna even lie. The first 4 months, like once COVID happened and it was canceled, the season was like definitely not gonna happen. And they were always saying like, oh, we'll see, we'll reconvene at this date, and they just kept pushing it back. And so I had the feeling that it wasn't gonna happen. And honestly, like, if the season somehow happened in 21, like I wouldn't have been ready. I'll be 100% honest about that. Like, it wasn't until like December 2020, like January 2021, where I really like was like, okay, I gotta lock in. That was the first year I haven't had football in like the last 12 years of my life. So my body honestly like needed it. I was sore from uni. I needed to change the way I was lifting, change the athlete I was. So I focused on all of the right things that I needed to, like longevity, instead of just like throwing around weight. I was focusing on technique, interval training, knees over toes guy. Came here, I was running faster than ever, ran, feeling better than ever, like felt. Hamstrings were the strongest part of my body from the weakest part of my body. Like, no, it was that 6-month preparation and the year off, I definitely needed it from my head, my body, just soreness all over. But just then the drive, like to get back into it was like there. Like after working out for that 6 months and grinding for that 6 months and getting on the field and doing drills and stuff, and just being like, hey, it needs to happen, it needs to happen. When it was set, like that 2-week warning, like camp's going, it was like, okay, now it's time to like really like dial in. And I was doing meetings with JB, just running over the playbook, getting over like assignments and stuff, just at every receiver position. For myself, man, like I want to compete for a starting spot. I think that's what everyone wants to be doing here. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna be the best teammate I can be. Like if they find me more valuable at another spot than what I think I should be, and it's the team's decision. I'll do what's best for the team at the end of the day. If we win a championship, I always said it best. Not everyone can be an all-star, but everyone can be a champion.